Hello everybody and welcome to Sin City Living. My name is Jason. I'll be bringing you today's episode. As always, please hit the like and subscribe buttons, and we'd like to give our usual shout out to our patrons. We appreciate all the tips and support. Just going to go towards making the channel better, hopefully adding more games at some point. We'll be trying something new this week and every week moving forward, where our patrons will be given exclusive videos every week just for them. If you're curious about it, go ahead and check the description of the video. If not, we're going to go ahead and move on. So what are we doing today? Today we're going to be covering we're going to do a strategy review. This one is probably going to be relatively short because the strategy itself is relatively basic. Now, like we've mentioned in the past, all strategies have weaknesses. There's no such thing as a perfect winning strategy all the time. So I'm just going to present the strategy to you. We'll go over what it's designed for, what it's looking for. This was sent to us by one of our viewers. I'm pretty sure they got it off of some other video they watched somewhere and just asked us to take a look at it. And it's pretty basic, actually. This player is going to place all the numbers. They're always going to place all the numbers, including the point. I'm actually a fan of that part already. I definitely like that. And then they're going to hedge. So what is their hedge? Well, first off, while the point is off, they're still going to place every number and they're going to go ahead and have it working. They could also wait until there is a point and then do the full strategy. Doesn't particularly matter as long as you do both parts of the strategy. And that's the thing. This strategy is actually pretty simple. This one is going to take a decent sized bankroll. Obviously, you can lower it down to wherever you feel comfortable with it. We're going to present this as if it were a $25 table. You could, of course, bring this back down to a $20 table, to a $15 table, whatever you choose. Wherever you would like to bring it down is where you will bring it down to. So what are they going to do? Well, like I said, they're going to place every number. We're going to place 160 across. So this one, again, requires a little bit of a bankroll. Generally speaking, when you're looking at whatever strategy you want to do, you want to try and have enough of a bankroll to see 8 to 10 shooters. So just right here alone, looking at 160 across, we're looking at you probably want 1,600 or so, except for one other small little part. We are also going to lay either the 5 or the 9. You can pick one. We're going to go ahead and do the 5. You're going to lay the 5 for $240. Why $240? Because a $240 lay is going to pay you $160. What do you have right here? $160 across, including. So theoretically, this lay is hedging your across bets. Now, we're going to have these working. If on a come-out roll we did not have them working, we would actually not have the lay. We want to hedge all of this together. So, I mean, you could have the lay, absolutely, and hope that a 7 winner comes out so you get paid on your lay. But in general, you wouldn't have the lay sitting there. So, what is it they are trying to do? Well, I'd say it's pretty obvious here. What they're trying to do is they're trying to hit some numbers, press some numbers up, do whatever other strategy you may choose, and hope that the 7 out that eventually comes will pay for the bets, and you'll be up. If you think about it, all you have to do is hit one number, any number, before the 7, and you are up. Now, the problem being on something like this is, what if you get a 0.5 or 9 if you're laying the 9? What if on the come-out roll, or any roll, your lay comes down? Well, yeah, that's what's going to hit you. That's probably the primary weak point. And regardless of what the number is, on any given day, I will see 4 or 5 in a row of every single number get rolled at some point. I will see 4 or 5 10s get rolled in a row. I will see 4 or 5 4s get rolled in a row. It happens. It happens, every single night. But again, every strategy has its strengths and weaknesses, and this is actually not a horrible strategy in any way, shape, or form. Like I always say, play for fun enjoy it, have a good time, and set yourself a backstop. I can see that this strategy as one that in the short term, if you come to the table at the right time, you can win a few hundred. Set yourself a point where, hey, I'm up this much money, I'm going to walk away, because otherwise you're going to give it all back. The players that keep chasing the bigger and bigger and bigger wins, they always give it back. The ones that end up happy are the ones that color up and leave when they catch the right roll, that they make a little bit of money. So with this, what are you going to do if your lay comes down? Well, theoretically, this strategy would call for putting the lay back up. Certainly nothing wrong with doing that. What I would recommend is that you look at where you are already at with your bets and what has been done. Now, what about the place bets? What are we going to do with these place bets? As numbers start rolling and they set a point, we get paid there. They roll some more numbers, hopefully not a 5. We get paid there. What are we going to do? Well, the beauty of this strategy, what I like about this strategy is that it lets you do whatever the hell you want to do with it. You can power press it if you want, because theoretically this is protecting your initial investment, theoretically. So as long as a 5 doesn't roll, you could power press, and if a 7 comes out, you didn't actually lose anything, except the VIG on this. What's the VIG on this going to be? Well, the VIG on this is going to be $8. $8. So you will lose the VIG on this. This isn't a $240 lay. It's actually a $248 lay that's going to pay $160. So you would lose $8 if you just immediately, in and out. Except that you would win here if, I'm sorry. If you lost this, you would at least win here. But if you immediately went out, the only thing you're losing, you're regaining your 160 here. You're just losing the $8 VIG. So like I said, a single number hitting, and you're in the plus as long as this doesn't roll. So you can power press if you like. Why not? You're theoretically covered. If you're not a big fan of the power press, and not everybody is, I completely understand, then you could also do a mid press. Collect a little, press a little, take the 9 to 35, then take it to 50, then 75, then 100, from the 8, take it to 42, to 60, to 72, or 90, 120, to 150, to 240, whatever you want to do. Same thing, 4 and 10. You can do a little mid press, or you can be happy with collecting your green, because the beauty of 160 is that everything is getting paid at least a green. That's one of the reasons I like this kind of bet. You can be happy with it, and you can just same bet. What else could you do with it? Well, let's say you're on a $10 table, but you're starting with 160 across. I do see this all the time. Maybe you want to do a regression strategy. Doesn't matter what personal strategy you have. This right here is basically just an addition to your strategy. If you're a power presser, if you're a mid presser, if you're an iron cross player, you could of course dummy this down and then dummy your lay down a little bit. In fact, if you're an iron cross player, if you're going to do these 3, you could always lay the 9, and you could do it a little bit smaller. If you did these 3, you're looking at $85. So what could you do? You could do, $135 lay on the 9. That would pay you $90 minus your VIG, which would probably be $5. So that would really cover your entire investment in the event of a 7 out. You could also do lays on the 4 and 10. I understand why the person that came up with this strategy does the 5 and 9. It's because you don't have to put as much at risk to win the amount. Every 3 pays 2 here, whereas with the 4 and 10, it pays half. So if I wanted to cover this 160 across and instead do a lay on the 4 or 10, I would have to put up $320 plus my 8. So it would be a $328 lay instead of a $248 lay. So that's their thinking behind laying behind the 5 or the 9. So you could same bet. You could do same bets. You could do your regression and drop down to table minimum as soon as one of these hit, drop from 30 down to 12. You could regress all your bets down to 52 across or 54 across, whatever it may be. Press them up, cross press, do sister number presses. The beauty of this strategy is this is actually right here an addition to your strategy. It's just a bonus to your strategy, I suppose you could say. It's interesting. To be completely honest, I like it. I do. This takes a lot more money, and of course, some 5s rolling can definitely hurt you on this one. If I'm playing this strategy and Despite being a proponent of the power press, I probably wouldn't power press this. I would probably mid press this one, collect a little and press a little. And if we've rolled 3 or 4 numbers and I lose my 240 behind, there's a pretty decent chance that I don't put it back. That I just go ahead and ride out my numbers, take whatever loss that I may end up incurring, but hopefully I can recoup my loss and end up positive with more numbers rolling. I'm more likely to just try and ride it out, especially if 4 or 5 numbers have rolled. I'm going to hope that this player can manage a decent size roll. And if not, oh well, no strategy can win every single time or in the long term. So I'm just hoping for a win in the short term. I hope you guys find this interesting. And stay tuned for more. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons, everybody. We will catch you guys next time. Thanks.